Hey everyone, in today's video I'm going to be covering DaVinci Resolve Fusion 20, their new multi-layer pipeline. And it says this is studio version only for all this stuff, but I honestly, once you see it, can't see it being separated out like that because they change almost every single node. So it's not a new single node, it's just how the nodes are processed. And we're going to jump in so you understand what I'm saying. So if you've been in 20 and you've brought in any node, you may have noticed under your settings, we have these new layers and a whole bunch of different options for layers. And that's for all of them. Go to settings, there's layers. If I bring in my little blur, go to settings, there's layers. So like I said, it says it's studio version only, but I can't see them changing every single node and separating out from studio to free version. So those of you on the free versions, if you don't have this, let me know. I just want to verify that this is studio version only, or if it's not. So let's jump into it. And let me show you what these mean. So in the past, when we do multi-layer stuff, like say with an open EXR that's multi-layered, or a PSD that has multi-layers, or stereophonic 3D stuff that's got multi-layers, traditionally, we just pretty much import our little scene and it breaks it out into a whole bunch of little layers, and we got to merge everything together. And this is the same with EXRs. You have to piece them all together to get all your layers built up correctly. But under the new stuff, under 20, now all we have to do is we can drag that media in. So it's that same PSD that I brought in. So we've got this new media file, and even on our media file we've got this little layer setting, and you can't change anything because these are actually the layers. There's no layers coming in yet. And the way this works, so now if we bring in say a multi-merge and we input it into our little merge there, we look at what's going on. We have this little lower thirds. And if we go to our multi-merge, well, first up here in our display, we can select what layer we want to see. So we can see it set on default. We can see our main layer, our merged layer, which is all the same. But then we can see our individual layers by just selecting them. Now within our multi-merge node, if we go to settings, we have these new process layer input, and we have multiple options for processing these layers. Now, what the default layer is going to do is it's going to apply the effect on the base unnamed layer, not affecting other layers. And this will make sense here in a second. We also have all layers if we want to bring in all layers. Additionally, we can do custom, and we can select which layers we want to bring in. So if I don't want to bring in that merged layer, I can just not select it and only select the layers I want to bring in. And again, if you're unsure of what layers are which, you can just go to your little display up here and select. Even though I've got merged, I've already got my main and I've got my default, which is actually my merged files. So then down here, we select what layer is our background layer. So I could select, say, text background 1. So that is my main background layer. And if I want to start building this out, I can add a new one. I can go to my merge, and under my layers list, I can go down to this layer and I can select text background 2. I can add a new one. And on this one up here, our new layer, I can select text background 3. You can see we can start building this out based off of layers into the single merge, instead of having multiple media ends and having to build it together in the merge. We can just select our layers. And this comes in handy as well for, say, stuff like color. If I want to bring my color in, and on my color tab, I can go to my settings. I can select all my default layers. I can select, say, background 1. And only background 1 is going to show up. I can go in and change my color. and put that in there. And now if I find my color corrected layer, and then I can bring that down, and now we have all of our layers in there. So you can see how this can come in handy. Instead of having tons of different layers, we can pick and choose which layers we want. So again, I can come in here, and if I didn't want background 1, I wanted background 2 instead. Now our background 2 is being selected by the color corrector, and we can affect any change we want. And this also comes in handy in different stuff, like say we wanted to build this in a 3D environment. We could say bring in a render, a camera, let's bring in a merge, let's bring in an ambient light, and let's build this all up. So now if I wanted to bring our little media into the 3D world, we could bring in a image plane. And if we look at our 3D world and back up here, you see we've got our little lower thirds there. So we can back this up, transform it to say -2 so we can see what's going on. And then under our settings, we can go to our material layer. We can say we want this to be background 1. Then we can go through and just copy all these layers, paste a few, and let's go ahead and get its own little merge going on here so we're staying nice and clean. Whoop. And then we go through each layer and we can select background 2, background 3, background 4, and then we can come in here and change our settings to put all of our layers where we want them to be. And now we've got our little lower thirds in the 3D world, nice and easy using that new layer pipeline system. And you can add lights and do whatever you got to do, but you can see how this is much easier and much cleaner than having to bring in multiple medias and splitting them out and the old way of doing stuff. So let's go ahead and delete this. And I'm also going to show you a multi-layer EXR. So let's go ahead and bring in a loader node, and I'm going to load our EXR up. If we look at our EXR, it's just a render from Blender. And as a reminder, the additional passes in Blender don't naturally render out as transparencies, but we can go in here in our little scene and look at our combined, and you can see we have transparencies on our combined, and we probably have transparencies on our crypto. So these are all the passes that were exported out of Blender. So if we want to manipulate some of this stuff, and this is just the AO shown as default because I believe it just shows up alphabetically, we could grab a multi-merge. So we can go ahead and add more layers if we want. So if we go to our merge, we can select a new layer, say we wanted our emission, and now our emission is up top. So, but you notice again, we're having issues with this transparency here. So we could just use any layer from here to input into our effect mask. And if we go here on our effect mask layer, we can select whatever one we want to use. And then once we select which one, obviously we need to go and select multiply by mask. So now it's all masked out, but you still see the issue with our our little emitter here. So if we wanted to say change the color of this emitter, we really wouldn't be able to do it this way. So what we could do is we could bring in, say, a color corrector. And on our color corrector, we could go to our settings and we can process all layers. In our input layer, we can select emit. So now we've got our emit layer in there, and we can go here and we can change our color to whatever color we want. But as you notice, if we brought this in, go to our merge node and look at our layers, we now have this new color corrected layer right here. So we could say multiply it if we wanted. We could do whatever we want. I'm going to leave it on normal though. And this layer, which was our original one, I'm going to go ahead and delete that because we want to work on this color change layer. So what we could do is we could bring in a bitmap node. And on our bitmap node, we would go to our settings, bring in all layers, and we're going to use our emit as our image layer. We can go to controls and hit luminance, and we've got a mask on that light. And if I brought that into our color correct and went to our color correct node and made sure our match mask was on auto, which will just automatically bring whatever layer you're in there, I could go up here and hit multiply by mask. So now we've just got those colors. And if I go to our merge, we've got our original image with our little AO with the changed colors. And we can go to our color correct and affect whatever change we want to make on our little color there. If we want to kind of combine our original with this AO, we could bring this in, go up to our loader node, and we can select our scene combined, and we can change our blend a little bit. So now we've kind of got a combo of our AO along with our original. But to make sure those colors on top, we just got to go in here and flip the layer list so our colors are on top. Then we can go in our color correct and make any color changes we want. So that's the new pipeline for working with multi-layer files. So it's pretty simple. It's a little confusing when you first start, but this is what it does. It alleviates us having to need a million nodes and merging everything together to make multi-layer files like EXRs and PSDs work correctly how we want. So I will do more node breakdowns with some of the nodes, working a little more in depth with these layers on how to actually, composite, say, an EXR. But I will be doing those down the line. And this was just more of an awareness video, so you know what's going on with that new layer stuff in DaVinci Resolve 20. And remember, those of you with the free versions,